This fellow, Dr. Jeffrey Wigan, is among the most important whistleblowers in corporate history. So appalled was he by the lies of America's tobacco industry, he spilled the beans from the inside. His story, including the death threats he received, was portrayed in the film The Insider, in which he was played by Russell Crowe. Dr. Wigan is in New Zealand this week to work with ASH and to address the Māori Affairs Select Committee and its inquiry into the tobacco industry. As I met him this morning, the results of a multinational study were being published showing that of 8 countries tested, New Zealand cigarettes have the highest amount of tar and the second highest level of nicotine. In short, Dr. Wigan says they're out to get you and to keep you hooked.
This is not an accident. This is direct, this is deliberate. The way the blend is put together scientifically.
With a view to what?
Well, there's only one view. There's only one thing a cigarette's good for. Well, actually, it's 2. When used as intended, it kills you. Number 2, it's made to addict you. Simple, straightforward. Okay? Nobody will smoke a cigarette without nicotine. Nobody. And that's been proven in 1988, 88, 89 by Philip Morris when they brought out products with no nicotine. They were a dismal failure.
When I was researching this interview, I realized that tobacco companies have killed more people than Adolf Hitler.
Yes.
And yet you can buy shares in tobacco companies.
Yes.
The people who run them mix in polite society. They go to dinner parties.
Yes,
they drive nice cars. Their children go to nice schools. What the hell is going on? How have we got this so phenomenally wrong?
I think you have a cast of characters that has a schizophrenic moral attitude. They do a job. They think it's legal product to kill. They sell it. They make enormous profit. It's a product that is made for pennies and sells for dollars. It makes them very rich. That richness that they get from the profit goes into the hands of the employers or the employees, and it goes into the pockets of politicians. And for many, many, many years, they bought the votes of politicians. And their tentacles have reached out in many, many pockets. What is starting to change, and has started to change in the late 90s, is a reversal of this. Their documents started coming out, where they say, well, let's hook them young, hook them for life. Quote. That was a BAT slogan. We're in a nicotine delivery business.
Wait a sec. Someone, somewhere, British American Tobacco,
yes,
who formerly were the parent company of the company that you worked for,
Brown & Williamson,
had a slogan, hook 'em young, hook 'em for life.
Yes.
Written down.
Every day.
Company policy.
Mr. Sanford said, hook 'em young, hook 'em for life. We're in a nicotine delivery business, and tar is the negative baggage. That was his mantra.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe Mr. Sanford perjured himself because I watched those testimonies very carefully.
No, all of us did. I mean, there was this whole line of people, whole line of CEOs up there all swearing.
And part of the reason I'm here is that I felt that their representation clearly misstated what is common language within the company. We are in the nicotine delivery business.
I came out with the truth because if I didn't, I would be a bystander and be just as guilty as they were. And the day I watched my boss, who was the president and chief operating officer, Mr. Sanford, raise his right hand and swear an oath that nicotine is not addictive, it's there for taste, and they're no more dangerous than eating Twinkies, a cupcake, I felt that I had to do something.
Answer the question, Doctor.
Yes, it produces a physiological response, which meets the definition of a drug. Nicotine is associated with impact, satisfaction. It has a pharmacological effect that crosses the blood-brain barrier intact.
It bothered me. It bothered me to watch and see the things I saw every day. The targeting of children, additives used to boost the nicotine content, the way to defeat the method of testing, the targeting minority groups, the targeting of young children. Those are the things that went on every day. And then when documents were created, the lawyers would destroy them so nobody in the public would ever learn of it. And The industry had many, many, many opportunities to come clean, and they never came clean. They never shared with the guy. All they did is continue to propagate the lie. And propagate the lie because they didn't want to lose the profits. They didn't want to lose out on all that they gained from the business. And you get paid well. I was paid well when I was there. And you get accustomed to that. But you also have to be accustomed to what your integrity is. And these are people without integrity, without a moral compass. And their moral compass points in one direction and one direction only. It's called profit, at the expense of people's health, irrespective of who they are and where they are, and always will be, until they are extinguished by regulating them out of business.